What if the delay you're experiencing isn't punishment, but preparation? What if the silence in your life is actually the loudest signal from heaven that God is setting you apart for something far greater than you can comprehend right now? You're not being ignored. You're being hidden. And that is the first reason why God is silently preparing you right now. He hides what He's about to use greatly. Just like Moses was hidden in the wilderness. Just like David was left in the fields while everyone else stood before the prophet. God often conceals His chosen ones, not to punish them, but to preserve them. The wilderness feels like a curse when in fact, it's a cover. You're not overlooked. You're being protected from exposure before you're ready. Because if the enemy knew what God was going to do through you, he'd try to destroy you before you ever stepped into it. The second reason is this: God is stretching your faith in silence. When you can't see the outcome and still choose to trust, this is where real faith is born. Hebrews 11:1 says, "Faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen, not felt, not heard." In this silent season, heaven is watching how you respond when nothing around you seems to confirm what God spoke to you. This is the testing ground of destiny. It's where God teaches you to walk by faith and not by sight, to stop living off of signs and confirmations and start moving based on His word alone. Third, God is breaking your dependence on the world. You've been stripped of certain comforts for a reason. The opportunities dried up, the friends disappeared, the doors closed, and it all felt random. But there's nothing random about the refinement of God. He is eliminating distractions, idols, and unhealthy attachments. Why? Because He's preparing you to stand on a foundation that's unshakable. James 4:4 says, "Friendship with the world is enmity with God." You can't carry divine purpose while clinging to worldly crutches. The isolation you're feeling, it's a sacred space where God severs every tie that would sabotage your calling later. Fourth, God is revealing the motives of your heart. This one is uncomfortable but critical. In the silence, your real desires rise to the surface. Do you want influence, or do you want intimacy with God? Do you crave applause or alignment with His will? Proverbs 16:2 says, "All a person's ways seem pure to them, but motives are weighed by the Lord." You may be praying for elevation, but God is more concerned with purification. He is digging deep, exposing hidden pride, selfish ambition, bitterness, insecurity. Not to shame you, but to heal you, because a pure heart can carry what pride will crush. Fifth, God is building spiritual endurance. Few people talk about this, but kingdom assignments come with warfare, with pressure, with seasons where obedience won't feel rewarding at all. You'll be tempted to quit, to compromise, to question everything. And so before the platform, before the promise, before the promotion, God trains you to persevere. Romans 5:3-4 says suffering produces perseverance, perseverance, character, and character, hope. This hidden season is your spiritual gym. Every trial, every unanswered prayer, every delay, it's weight training for your soul. He's toughening you so that the storm won't break you later. Sixth, God is aligning your timing with His. Ecclesiastes 3:1 says there's a time for everything, a season for every purpose. Your delay is not denial, it's divine synchronization. You may feel ready now, but God sees the full picture. He's orchestrating people, places, and events behind the scenes. He's working in rooms you haven't entered yet, softening hearts, creating vacancies, preparing divine connections. If he gave it to you too soon, it would crush you or you'd ruin it. The wait is not wasted. It's where God prepares the stage for a launch that won't collapse under its own weight. And seventh, God is testing your obedience in obscurity. Everyone wants to be used by God in public, but few are willing to obey him in private. Luke 16:10 says, "Whoever is faithful with little will be trusted with much." If you won't obey his voice in the silence, how can he trust you with influence? The small assignments matter. The secret sacrifices matter. When no one is watching and you still choose to honor him, give when it's hard, pray when it's dry, stay when it's easier to run. That's when heaven takes note. You're proving that your devotion isn't performance, it's real, and God always rewards real. So if you feel like God has gone silent, maybe it's not that he's distant, but that he's focused. Focused on preparing you, refining you, strengthening you. This season might not feel spiritual, but it's one of the most spiritual seasons you'll ever walk through. You're being shaped, stretched, sanctified. Don't despise it. Don't rush it. Don't try to escape it. Let the silence do its work. Let the crushing produce the oil. Let the waiting birth the wisdom. You were never forgotten. You were being forged. Heaven doesn't waste time, and neither should you. Ask God what he's trying to show you. Ask him what needs to die in you before your next elevation. Stop asking when he'll speak, and start asking how you should respond. You're not just waiting, you're becoming. And that becoming is the very thing that will sustain you when the promise finally arrives.